Oh, wow. Man, so I went and took a little nap saying, okay, I'm going to wake up in a couple of minutes. 3 hours later, here we go. All right, so I ended up missing everything basically. So we have the data mines, we've got the refines, of course, and we have the like stuff for the brand new characters on the genealogy of the Holy War banner. So let's just go ahead and pull up all of these refine pages, and we'll just take a look and see what everyone is up to. Okay, and then we have Selena. She should be the last one. Okay, so let's go ahead and start things off. We're going to start with Halloween Xane. Okay, one of the more exciting ones. So, HP up 5, which is good because HP is really the only stat this guy cares about. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. So they gave him close counter as well. Okay. If unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5. Grants a bonus to all stats equal to the highest respective stat from among allies within 3 spaces. Minus unit stat values. Calculates each stat bonus independently at the start of combat. If unit stat is the highest, unit stat will decrease. And deals damage equal to 20% of unit speed during combat. So true damage based on speed also. Now, is that going to be based on his raw speed or the speed that he is stealing from his ally? Couldn't tell you at the current time. Okay, let's move on. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, grants all stats of 6, Hexblade, and Null Panic to allies within 3 spaces of unit for 1 turn. That's pretty interesting. So, as you may be aware if you've ever used him, blue bonuses count to whatever allies he's stealing stats from. So if he's already just self-buffing everybody by all stats up 6, that's pretty good. It's also giving other support too, Hexblade and Null Panic, so that can come in handy also. Alright, then also if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants a further all stats of 5 and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 20% of the greater of unit's defense or res during combat, including on their brave attack. And also, if foe's attack can trigger foe's special, and unit's res is better than the foe's res plus 5, inflict special cooldown count plus 1 on the foe before foe's first attack during combat. So yeah, Scowl too. Got 20% defense or res first attack DR. Got support here. What? Did they actually cook? Wait, hold on a second. I think they might have cooked with this guy. He seems pretty solid. That's very interesting. Now, is it worth running him as an Omni tank? If he can steal the stats of allies. He's got some tricks up his sleeve, right? Because this guy is free to run Echo skills. You could give him Null C Echo. And you know what else about that, too, is that if he's fighting an enemy lay radar, and they're hitting a sign decoy on the ally with the lowest defense, he probably is going to have the lowest defense compared to whoever he's stealing stats from. So he will end up getting hit by the assigned decoy. This is very interesting. Okay, I'm actually intrigued. I think Xane might have got some good stuff here. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Lex Luthor up next. Alright, so Goddess Axe, one of the only brave weapons free-to-play to ever get a refine here. So 11 might, 1 range, HP up 3, brave attacking even on the enemy phase, grants HP up 5, attack up 6, and defense up 6 to unit, and inflicts speed and res minus 5 on units. That's really weird how they worded that. Attack plus 6, comma, and defense plus 6 to unit. Typically what they do is they'll just do like attack and defense plus 6, right? They'll just say both of the stats, not wording it the way that they did here. Okay, unit also makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat. He did not have that before. He didn't have the HP either. He didn't have speed drops. So they've tweaked a couple of things here. Oh, my bad, guys. He's the 3-star, so he only gets 1 page treatment. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and defense up 6. Like right here, this is how they typically word this. Not attack +6, comma, and defense +6, comma. Attack / defense +6 to unit. It deals damage equal to 15% of unit's defense, excluding on AoEs. And grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. And recover 7 HP after combat. Yeah, not really feeling that, unfortunately, for Lex. Certainly not as intriguing as Xane's very unfortunate, but can't they just do a refine like this for Reinhardt? Just, like, give him nonsense like this? And it'll certainly make him a lot better, and it'll also take him out of refine jail, but it's not going to make him broken. So what's the deal? What's the holdup? Like, why are they so petrified of giving Reinhardt even like a trash refine? I don't understand. They can it's completely within their power to refine Reinhardt however they want. They can make him as broken or as crappy as they want, but they just refuse. Okay, so we have Mommy Sonia up next, the thickest of the baddies. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know why it's not her to get all of the ults that Ursula has had, because Ursula is nowhere near as hot as Sonia. Let's just put that right out there. Sonia is the superior waifu in terms of looks and even in terms of villainy. So, why Ursula? There's definitely a dev on the Insist Faye team that is a huge fan of Ursula. Okay, Fimbulvetter Morn. Should have been Fimbulvetter Mom, to tell you the truth. 14 might, 2 range at the start of combat. If unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack and res -6 on the foe during combat. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 7, including their brave attack. And inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. So we got guard there. We got brave attack DR. Res-based bonus damage. Attack and res -6. Okay. At start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack and res up 6. Essence Drain. And bonus doubler. Hello. To unit and target allies for 1 turn. If support partner is on player team, targets any support partner within 2 spaces of unit. Otherwise, targets the ally with the highest attack within 2 spaces. Now, it's only for support. Wait, hold on. To unit and target allies for 1 turn, and if support partner is on player team, targets any support partner. Otherwise, targets ally with the highest attack. Okay, it's not as good as Nurgle, because he gives it to all allies in 2 spaces. But, first of all, Essence Drain is good in and of itself. We're talking about bonus doubler too? That's pretty good. Is she the best Grand Hero Battle refine at this point now, thanks to this? Hold on. We are cooking with these refines a little bit. We got Xane looking nice, and now Sonia too. At start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack and res -6 on the foe during combat. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and recovers 7 HP after combat. Bro, we will take that Essence Drain support all day. I don't even have Nurgle, but I have Sonia. So, cool. Only problem is we just got, like, double dosage. But other than that, that's very good. Okay, so Legendary Micaiah. Let's see if the wait was worth the wait. Let's see here. Okay, her weapon, of course, New Dawn, is double type effective on cavalry and armor types. She's got 14 might here, 2 range. Grants attack up 3. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and res up 6 and speed and defense up 5 to unit. Grants attack, speed, defense, and res up X to unit. X is 10% of res at the start of combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat. Also, if unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before the foe can counterattack. So she has Desperation built in. So that means you don't have to do shenanigans with Maiden Solace to, like, get low on HP and then pull off, like, Desperation shenanigans. Attack and res up 6 and speed and defense up 5. Why not just speed and defense up 6 as well? Is that 1 point really that big of a deal? That they had to stop symmetry on her weapon to just give her attack speed and defense of 5? Okay, -1 special trigger. That's nice. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 5 to unit. Neutralize penalties to attack and res. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res, excluding on AoEs. And reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. Yeah, that's going to be a no from me, dog. Prescience didn't get that good of an upgrade. They just turned it into, like, Bride Micaiah's debuff for the most part. So, yeah, I don't know if this is substantial enough for her, to tell you the truth. It's good, though. It's certainly going to make her a lot better. But it's not going to make her on par with a lot of the other Micaiahs in the game, like Bride Micaiah or Attune Micaiah and so on. Okay, so Legendary Fa is up next. Let's see here. Not Life Unending. Dazzling Breath. That's her weapon. So 16 might, or is that 16 might? It's cut off, but I think it is 16 might. 1 range, HP up 3. Grants attack up 3. If enemy's range is 2, we get adaptive damage. Inflicts all stats -5 on the foes within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit. And neutralize those foes' bonuses during combat. Huh. That's not a status debuff. So you can't cleanse that. That's just like a drive debuff. That's interesting. Okay. If foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, inflicts attack speed, defense, and res -5 on the foe. Foe can't make a follow-up. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res. And inflicts guard on foe per attack. Alright, so far this is boding pretty well for little Miss KFC here. Alright, foes with a range of 1 cannot move through spaces adjacent to unit. Foes with a range of 2 cannot move through spaces within 2 spaces of the unit, so she has Bulwark. Also, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts all stats -5 on the foe, and reduces damage from foes' attacks by 20% of unit's res during combat. And also, if foe's attack can trigger foe's special, and unit's res is better than the foe's res +5, inflicts special cooldown charge +1 on the foe before foe's first attack. Wow, they gave her Scowl, too. This is pretty... I mean, this is way better than Micaiah. When you consider how solid Life Unending is now, it's like Miracle. It isn't one and done per map only like it was prior to the remix. It's got non-pierceable DR, and now she's got like this crazy 3-column and 3-row debuff. She's an infantry type, so you can just run her with crazy stuff like Canto Curb. I guess you can't run Null Sea Echo, because then you'd have to take off her special. So you can't run Echo skills, but that's okay. She can, like, double up on Scowl if you want. She could go for Distant Bonus Doubler. She could go for Lagoose Friend pretty easily. I think she's pretty good. And she's certainly better than Micaiah, unfortunately. Okay, Ronan is up next. Let's take a look here. Effective against flying, grants res up 3. They didn't show the mites or anything else. I guess they got to fit as much text in this one little page as they possibly could. I'm just going to assume 14 might for his weapon, 2 range, and then HP 3. Alright, disables foe's skills that calculate damage using lower a foe's defense or res. So he nullifies adaptive damage. I guess that matters because he has way more res than defense. But does it really matter? Probably not. If foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants all, or not all stats, but attack, defense, and res up 6 and speed up 5. Once again, why? Like, why not just speed up 6 as well? Is that 1 point really that important? To unit, neutralize unit's penalties to attack, speed, and res, and foe's bonuses to attack and speed from rallies and fortifies, and deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res. And also, when unit's special triggers, calculates damage using 150% of unit's res instead of the value of unit's attack. Huh. Isn't that what Temera does, I think, on Sandstorm? Except she does it with defense. This guy's doing it with res. So what would be the opposite of Sandstorm? Like Snowstorm? Or like Blizzard or whatever? Okay, so he has that. Okay, moving on to his effect now. -1 special trigger. For allies in 3 spaces a unit, grants attack speed and res of 5, neutralizes effects that inflict guard on ally, and reduces damage from foes' first attack by 7 during combat, including their brave attack, and if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5 to unit, neutralize effects that inflict guard, and grants special collect count -1 to unit before unit's first attack. Would have been nicer if it was on enemy's first attack, because you could run, what you could do is run like curved shot on this guy and then like pre-charge into it yourself, but unfortunately that's not what's happening here. Also, the -1 special trigger hurts curved shot because then he can't run Lagu's friend. Alright, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5, neutralizes guard, gets his pre-charge prior to the foe's first attack, and then or his first attack, and reduces damage from foes' attacks by 10 during combat, including AoEs. So just flat 10 DR from all the enemy attacks. Not first attack, not brave attack, all attacks. And we're not done yet. including on AoEs and excluding Rooker's specials. Kind of a lot to take in here with Ronan. Nullifies adaptive damage. Let's just say all stats up 6 because I'm not saying speed up 5. Neutralizes penalties to attack speed and res, and foes' bonuses to attack and speed. Yeah, true base DR, 20%. Man, I don't know. Again, this is really interesting. Where were these kind of refines last month? Like, the refines last batch were not this solid or interesting. And the character choices were not this interesting. This is as good as we can ask for when it comes to a refine batch. Okay, Selena is up next. Let's go ahead and see. So she had Tome of Storms, which is 14 might, 2 range, speed up 3. If unit initiates combat, or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants bonus to units' attack and speed equal to 6 plus 15% of unit speed at the start of combat. Nullify foes' bonuses to speed and res, and neutralize effects that guarantee foes' follow-ups and prevent units' follow-ups. And if unit speed is better than the foe's speed, foe can't counterattack. So we have here null follow-up. We have also fire sweep. We got speed and res lull. We got quite a lot of attack and speed bonuses. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else. Enables Canto 1. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts speed and res -7 and exposure on closest foes and foes in 2 spaces of those foes. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants another attack and speed up 6 during combat and deals damage equal to 20% of unit's speed, excluding on AoEs. Actually, would have been crazy if she was able to do that on AoEs. Because, like, this would be a very easy unit to stack up AoE damage with. But, unfortunately, no. She seems pretty good. Just about in line with the other Selena refine. What was it? Summer Selena? The one that had a really nice refine for her batch? I think she actually won her batch, to tell you the truth. This is a pretty solid refine, too. It's not, like, crazy or anything, but it's not bad by any means. Like, we have some key tools here. It's pretty modern, too. Like, this... Like, the 6 plus 15% of speed to her attack and speed, that's something you see on units today. Well, they'll do it to everything, like attack, speed, defense, and res. But, I mean, attack and speed is probably the only thing that matters with her. And she's already got fire sweep, which is nice. She'll be a solid unit to give the Lin ring to. Yeah, I don't think she's bad. Maybe she could be better, but... she's got, like, basically everything she needs. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. And then that covers us for all of the data mines. So who actually won this batch? This is a very difficult batch to call, considering, like, how many interesting things we have going on here besides Micaiah and Lex, unfortunately. Oh, man. Who won? I'm inclined to say Sonia. I gotta be honest, man. Like, Sonia getting Essence Drain was not on my bingo list whatsoever. But that's pretty damn helpful that she has that and she's free. Now, mind you, again, it's not as good as Nurgle because she's not giving it to everybody in 2 spaces, only herself and either the support partner or the ally with the highest attack in 2 spaces. Now, I guess you could tie attack with multiple units to get that to go off on multiple units, but that's annoying. Nobody wants to have to do that. So, in a way, it's better than Nurgle. In a way, it's worse than Nurgle. So, I'm going to call it for Sonia. I think Xane and Fa are like the runner-ups. They're both really interesting looking to me. Xane could be the secret sauce for Omni-tanking right now, considering I think he has a pretty good matchup against Lay Radar. And that's like everything. Ronan could be interesting. I would want to see him in action, but his defense is way too low, and he turns off adaptive damage, but who the hell cares? Like, Ninja Lucina is just going to come in and wallop him, or the brand new attuned Brigid. Like, they're just going to kick his ass. So, what he should have had instead of nullify enemy adaptive damage is have adaptive defense. If the enemies are attacking him, then it targets the higher of his defense or res. How about that? That would be a fire-ass effect for a lot of units if they want to go ahead and do that. Because there's quite a lot of min-max units that have no defense but good res, or vice versa. So, like, that would be a nice little effect for them to have in the pocket for the future. But, yeah, that's going to wrap us up for this one, guys. Stick around, and we will come back and take a look at the data mines for the rest of the characters. But, my God, Mommy, you certainly won, didn't you?